Capitan Cthulhu is about the game after.
Okay. Let's see. I may need to bring up a little picture so I can stay focused mentally. Okay. All right. I'll close out of this. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight and playing this one-shot. Hopefully, we'll keep it very close to an hour. I figure an hour and a half, something like that. If you guys would, let's go ahead and everyone roll initiative now, and we'll use this initiative throughout the game, just for the sake of time. So everybody go ahead and roll initiative, add your decks, and since we're doing it in Discord, you want to...
Nat 20!
Oh, fuck. Nat 20.
All right.
18.
Okay. All right. So let's. Now, was your nat 20? Is it nat 20 plus what? Do you have a dexterity? Okay. All right. So we got 21. Okay. So. Allie got a 21. Okay, Aaron, what did you get? Aaron got a 3.
I rolled a 4, and then my initiative's -1, so 3.
Let's just use my computer.
You know what, though, Aaron? It actually works out that you and Allie are far apart so that y'all can sort of pass the mic around. So that was meant to be. Okay.
Yay.
Okay, Ty, what's your initiative? It may be in the thing. I'm sorry, man. I just gotta ask you. Oh, I'm sorry. Ty's not playing. Hang on. Ty is now Johnny. Okay, Johnny, what's your initiative?
18.
Okay. And
What is your dex?
What is my dex?
Yeah,
My dex is a 17.
And you added your point to it. Okay.
So was it?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, no,
Wait.
I already added my 3.
My bad. I'm actually 19. I forgot my dex got bumped to a +3.
Okay, no problem. Okay, all right. So you're 19. Okay, and
Yes.
Laura Lynn, what is your initiative?
Big old 8.
8. All right. And oh, Shaduku, you were the one that was 19. And D, what is your initiative?
19. Dex is 2.
Okay. And Shadu, yours was 3. Your dex, I think. Okay,
Yes.
Jay, what's your initiative?
11.
11. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna call out an order here, and if anybody's played with me before and wants to help keep the order, you can certainly do that if y'all want to jot this order down. Okay, so we've got or actually, let me do this. Allie, what's your character's name?
Bart.
Okay, so Bart.
Like Bart Simpson said.
Yeah.
Bart, still timer. Bart.
Okay, we got Bart, and then we have Shaduku. What is your character's name?
His name is Grognak.
Grog. Mac?
Knack.
Genius.
Knack. Okay. And...
If anyone gets that reference, you're my friend.
Alright, D, what is your character's name?
His name's Dormick.
Tormic. After I
Tormick.
Tormic, okay. Okay, Tormic. With a T.
He's got a thick accent.
And, let's see, we got, okay, Tormic. We need, Johnny. What's your character's name?
Yeah, in honor of the New England Revolutionaries, my name today is going to be Gronk.
Gronk. Grog and Gronk. That's going to be fun.
That'll be fun.
Okay.
It's like Vex and Vax.
Yeah, exactly.
Gronk?
Grunk. Like, too much junk in the grunk. Okay, so that's, you know what? When you think of that name with your feature, that works really well. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need number 5, which is going to be Jay. What's your character's name?
Yes, I am Jürgen Ungart, but my friends call me Sneezy. Achoo!
Ungard. All right. Let's see, 11. Okay, and
Ungard?
Jürgen. And then it takes us to Laura Lynn. What's your character's name?
His name is Aldrich. He's really young.
All right. And let's see, Laura Lynn. Let's see, Laura Lynn. Okay. And then and then the final one here is Aaron. What's your character's name?
My name is Steve.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna call a name. Bart. Grog.
Present.
Tormac. Grunk. Jürgen. Aldrich. And Steve. Everybody good?
Boom.
Okay. Let's get started. Okay. So if you guys would take a moment to relax, make the kids shut the door. Speaking of Christopher, shut the door. Christopher, hurry, shut the door. 18 people waiting on you, man. Thanks. Okay. So, picture yourself. You see this scene of lush forest creatures and animals kind of, running around, frolicking, some deer outside. You see this nice waterfall pouring down, kind of shifting in a small kind of creek. It's not like rushing water. It's just, nice flow water. You have like a little bridge made out of wood, logs along the side, and logs for the railing. And as you wind up to this curvy road, you see a nice little quaint cottage, actually just sitting kind of right in the middle of the woods. And if you were to kind of like how the movies where they sort of come in from the sky and zoom in, and kind of comes in the window, what you would notice is you would see this table, and the house is just filthy. I mean, this is definitely the bachelor pad of bachelor pads. You see clothes on the floor, socks on the bedpost. It almost looks like, when you look in the kitchen, it's basically like they don't wash dishes, they just sort of buy more dishes. And so there's just piles and piles of dishes everywhere. And as you look at the table, you can see that the table has kind of been cleared just enough that each one of these dwarves that are sitting at this table, they've kind of cleared enough that they all have sort of a bowl of porridge in front of them, and it looks to you as if they're having their morning breakfast as they're just about to head off to work. And they kind of sort of give a little bit about their maybe a little bit about what you hope to accomplish in your work in the mines this morning, right before you go off. So the first one to speak up is Bart, as you're just finishing your breakfast.
Oh my lord, do we have to get up and go to work again? I'm gonna just take a nap right here in my soup.
Achoo! There's too much pepper in the soup.
And Grog, what would you like to say before heading off for work this morning?
This is a stupid idea.
I need a handkerchief.
My hoops are pretty, Carla.
And as Grog speaks out, you hear Tormac speak up.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out.
Oh, Tormac.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah,
oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is your breakfast. Y'all are about to kind of head up, and you're sort of making a comment as you're getting up
from
the table, about to go to work.
I just didn't hear who you were calling on. Sorry.
Tormac.
Oh, but we gotta get going.
Yes, I have hammer and sickle.
Being the son of Gloin, before he kicked me out of my place.
Oh, I miss the Papa. But we better go.
Okay. And Gronk, as you speak up on your way out.
This is a stupid plan. I don't care what anybody says.
And Jurgen.
Achoo!
Porridge like comes out and all over the table and gets on you guys.
This springtime, it is the pollen.
Alderic makes a little comment on the way out the door.
Jurgen, you sound like you're getting sick. I can help with that. Everybody else, please stay healthy.
I just want to take a nap, wee one.
Achoo!
I'm ready to go.
And as you guys are heading up going out the door, the last one, kind of probably being is good old Steve.
I'm just gonna go and study some flowers out in the yard. If anybody wants to bother me, I guess I can hang out with you, but I'd rather just be alone. If you don't mind.
So as you guys head to work, Bart, Grog, Tomac, Grank, Jurgen, Aldrich, and Steve, who's kind of staying behind the party a little bit, hidden, getting some flowers and things like that. As you guys are going off to work, one thing that you always kind of, when you get to this certain spot on your way to work, you guys always like to kind of sneak by this place, because you hear that the old apple orchard farm it's actually been taken over. It's been abandoned for years, but you guys definitely, you hear every time you walk by there's spooky sounds and things kind of just eerie about the place, like as if it's not vacant, as if there's something in the old home at the orchard farm. So as you guys get to this sort of turn off of the road, can everybody please roll me a perception check?
Oh no.
What do we do for perception?
So add whatever number.
Oh, nice, Jay.
So perception just.
I wipe my eyes.
Yeah.
I see.
Okay, so
Achoo!
everyone that rolled a 10 or higher, you notice in the sort of the dark crevices, because it's like as you walk through the forest, it's beautiful and bright and just sunbeam is just shooting through different spots in the trees, but this spot is kind of just odd. It's like twisted vines and dark, you know, so even though it's day, it's morning actually, but there's enough darkness in there. And those of you that rolled above a 10, you actually notice these kind of little like yellow eyes looking at you through the thicket, and you see the road kind of heading off here. And as you guys see this, you guys want to, you know, kind of, you just kind of see the eyes and kind of disappear, and you see these things. And those that didn't notice, you guys are just kind of walking forward. And if you guys would like to be stealthily past this place, then feel free to roll a stealth check.
Bart will roll a stealth check.
Achoo! Sneezy gives everybody away. I look at the eyes, I say, hi-ho! Off to work we go. Where do you go?
Okay, did everybody roll a sneak check?
Aldrich would like to murder the eyes.
Okay,
Aldrich rolled a natural 1 for his stealth check, so in his young state, he's legit whistling everywhere he goes.
Everyone who rolled less than a 12 on their sneak, so 11 and below, you would hear, as you're going, you see these eyes, because these eyes are kind of popping and going, the ones that you perceived it. But even if you didn't perceive it before, but you did fail this sneak check, you do perceive eyes pop, they fix on you, and you hear this as you scan past to get to
Hey.
place.
Oh God!
Who's the grumpy one? Grumpy one, go say hi. She laughed too much. Please, achoo.
Who you calling grumpy?
I don't want to take a nap
Yes,
here.
you grumpy one.
So,
Grognak would like to murder the laughy voice.
okay. Okay. So who wants to go forward to work and who wants to hang out here?
Grognak
I would
wants
like to go to work
kill.
so we can take a
Get
nap.
out of here.
Okay.
You must go to work.
Okay. So anybody that's staying behind, let me know.
No, I go to work.
Everybody go. Okay.
Let's work till we die.
So here you are, you guys. Early morning, beautiful. You're all in the mines. You have your equipment and everything you guys are ready to do, and you all kind of take your places. And it is the first portion of your workday. And if we could, so as you're going, do you guys want to sing anything on your way to work?
Smash, smash, kill, and smash.
Exactly. And
Stop whistling. Nobody wants to hear that.
yeah, exactly. So as you're there at work, and you guys each have have your pickaxe and everything. Bart is one of the, as you go, and of course your job, guys, is to find gems and things and precious stones in the mine. And here we are in our first shift of the day. And Bart, if you could roll for me I'm sorry, everyone roll a straight D20 and hang on to the number because I'll need it when I call on you. Everybody roll a straight D20. Okay, so this is
Just for reference,
yeah.
Grognak uses his bare hands. He's a strong boy.
That's totally acceptable.
You don't need no goddamn pickaxe.
Exactly, little claws. Okay, so as you guys go, and Bart, what did you roll for your first work of the day? Go ahead, you can describe that, Bart.
Well, I tried to work, but I
So Bart just falls asleep. And Grog, what did you roll for your first quarter shift of the day?
I did good enough.
Grognak.
Oh, you did good enough?
Wait.
Is there a number associated with good enough?
12. 12 is always good enough.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so if you could, can you roll for me a D6 and give me the number?
Six.
Okay, you, in the very beginning of the day, you find yourself a black sapphire worth, you find yourself a black sapphire worth 5,000 gold pieces.
And I tell no one.
Your ethics are up to you. Okay, Tormac, as first shift of the day, what did you get?
Oh, Tormac, he got 3. So he's laughing at Bart.
Yeah.
Still, he got fall asleep on the pickaxe. Pure comedy.
Didn't have to find anything. Who needs gems when you can steal?
Life is a spice of life.
And then Gronk, his first quarter of the day. What did Gronk find today? We lost Gronk.
Did he pull the lever?
Let's see.
I think we're getting confused by Gronk and Gronk or whichever was.
Grognak?
Okay, yeah. Let me say it like Grognak then. Grog.
Yeah, Grognak should have been after Bart.
Oh, okay. Then so so Gronk, you're the one. You rolled. You got who got the $5,000 gemstone? Gronk.
Gronk.
Okay.
Gronk did.
I'm sorry, Grognak.
I went on.
Grognak. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just catch up right here. Grognak, what did you get for your first shift of the day?
Grognak, strong boy, got 18.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Can you give me a D6 and tell me what you get?
Oh, that's sad. That's a 2.
Well, why is it sad? Okay, so
Because
you...
low number makes Grognak sad.
So as you dig in there, you find a onyx worth 50 gold pieces. And
sweet.
Grognak is enamored with the shiny.
Yeah.
So you're happy.
So okay, so we got Bart, Grognak, Tormac. You've worked for this first shift, right, Tormac? Have you worked already for the first shift?
Tormac fell asleep on the pickaxe.
I got you. That's right. Okay, and all right, Gronk, you went. Jurgen, what did you do?
Yes. Achoo! I did good enough with 10. The mine, I am allergy.
Let me see. Let me see if you.
Is it a minor allergy?
Yes, some call it a black lung.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so on a 10, go ahead and do a D6, please.
Achoo, 2.
Okay, and you find yourself a nice moonstone. Very beautiful, translucent, white with pale blue glow. It's worth 50 gold pieces.
Achoo, moonstone make sneeze.
And Aldrich.
Well, first, Aldrich diagnoses Bart with narcolepsy, and then he rolled an 18.
Whoa! See, so you, and can you give me a D6?
That's a 1.
Okay, so as you wake up and kind of smack the rock quickly, let's see what pops out there. As you're awake long enough to smack the rock, you see a opaque black obsidian gemstone worth 10 gold pieces falls in your hand before you pass out again.
Oh, I'm not asleep. I'm just diagnosing those that are.
Oh, I got you. Okay. So you have a nice obsidian opaque black gemstone worth 10 gold pieces for you. And Steve, what do you do in this first shift of the day?
I rolled a 20.
Oh, okay, absolutely. And can you give me a D6?
3.
Okay, and you have a, let's see here. You have a beautiful, you see this transparent red gemstone, and you know it to be a spinel, S-P-I-N-E-L, and it's worth 100 gold pieces. And you find this, and you can put it in your...
I take it, and I keep it to myself, but I look at it lovingly.
Absolutely. So as you guys go, and you've had your first 2 hours of work, and you guys have some, like some tea and, a couple of whatever things you kind of stuffed in your pack for the day, you guys jump up for your second shift. So if everyone would roll me a D20. If you roll a 10 or higher, go ahead and roll a D6. If you do not roll above 10, just let me know, because you would have not been able to find a gem in this second portion of the day. So we start here with Bart. And what did you find on this after the first break of the day? What did you find?
Well, Bart rolled a 6. I maybe snored a little and woke up and then hit the wall and then maybe saw something and fell asleep.
And Grognak, what did you find in this second portion of the day?
Grognak rolled a 13, followed by a 4.
Okay, and so Grognak finds a beautiful black pearl worth 600 gold pieces.
Ooh.
And Tormac, how did you do in this second portion of the workday?
Rolled a 13 with a d20, and then I rolled a 6 with a d6.
Excellent. And you found yourself a beautiful diamond worth 5,000 gold pieces.
Oh, I won't go hungry today. Oh, good.
I think you're probably good. Let's see. Let's see. That was that Jurgen? Who are we on there? That was Jurgen, right?
That was Tormac.
Tormac. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I do right. Okay, so Bart, Grognak, Tormac, Gronk. How do you do in this second portion of the day?
Gronk did exactly the same as last time.
Okay, a 6. Okay. And Mr. Rich Guy over here, you also find yourself a diamond that actually is a pink diamond, and it is worth 5,000 gold pieces. And yeah, you're definitely the rich one of the group. Jurgen, as you work in this second portion of the day.
Hello, yes.
Yes. How do you, how do
19
you
and a 6.
All right, okay.
Rolled 19 and then 6.
And you find a
Achoo, yes. I did very well.
You find a beautiful black sapphire worth 5,000 gold pieces.
Yes, it looks like my mother.
And Alderic, how do you do?
Well, he saw Bart fall asleep again, and he's very concerned, so he just rolled a 7 and didn't do any work for the rest of it. Just watched Bart sleep.
Totally worried about him. And Steve, how do you do?
I was so happy from that first roll that I rolled a 15 and then a 2.
Absolutely. Okay, and you find during the second shift of the day, you find a beautiful, I'm going to have to spell it for you, Citrine, citrine. It's a transparent pale yellow-brown color. It's worth 50 gemstones. So as you guys go and you find this, for the sake of time, we'll say this is your second shift of the day. You guys have had a nice long day at work, and it's time to return home. So anybody want to say anything before they leave the mine? I'll run down the list. If you want to make a comment as you leave on your way home. Bart, did you have anything to say?
Well, I guess it's time to go home already. Take another nap.
Grognak, and what did you say on your way? Or how did you feel like your workday went? Maybe you got some good treasure.
Grognak found shiny.
and he shows everybody the rocks here. Tormac, how did you make out today?
This is the best day of my life.
Best day ever. and Gronk, how did you do?
This was a terrible day.
Horrible. Jurgen, how did you do today?
Chew.
Aldrich, and as you're leaving out here.
Oh, I am just so proud of all of you. We can move the counter for the days without accidents up to 1. We're just doing so well.
And Steve, on your way out.
As they say that a rock slide hits Grognak.
Grog takes 1 point of bludgeoning damage from the rock slide.
He shrugs it off.
And so as you guys finish up the day and you made what you have, you make your way back home, very similar to as you left. When you guys get to this kind of scary portion of the trip, the old abandoned, or you think it's abandoned orchard farm, you guys kind of sneak past it and make your way. And as you come into the house, you guys open the door, and something is definitely changed. You don't even need to do a perception to know this. Your house has been immaculately cleaned. Everything is spotless. All the beds are made. All the clothes are laundered, folded, and put away. The dishes, all of them, have been immaculately cleaned, and the house looks spick and span. You could eat off of any area of the house.
Oh no! It was.
Yeah.
It was Grumpy's mom. Quick, hide!
Everyone give me a perception check, and I need to know if you get an 18 or higher.
Nope.
Nope. On the plus side, this is much more sanitary, and it might help with some of the allergy problems, as well as some of the incontinence, other things that are problems. This is much more sanitary.
Exactly.
Grognak is distracted by all the shiny.
Exactly. So let's see. Let's see. Bart, you got a 19. Do you have your microphone, Bart?
Yeah.
Okay. So Bart, so you guys are all just, so anybody else roll above an 18? No one else? Only Bart? Okay. So you guys are all just taken aback at, your house has just been immaculately clean, but Bart is able to point out over in the corner let me see who. Over in the corner in Tormac's bed appears to be what you guys know is like a human woman laying, looks almost kind of passed out in the bed, sleeping. You can see her arms are kind of like laying over the bed, and you see like a dusting rag kind of fell from her hand, and she's definitely in a sleep. And as you notice her, you can point her out to the group.
I told him I don't think that's me asleep in your bed.
It's my lucky day.
Is the human lady taller than Grognak?
Yes, she's a human size, so she would be.
They're a short human.
Probably be about I'm gonna say like about 5'2".
Grognak doesn't like her.
So
Tormak really likes her.
Okay, so as you let's see here. So as you guys go, is anybody gonna wake her up, or you leave her there? What do you want to do?
Achoo! Woman wear perfume, make me sneeze.
Yeah.
Alder tries really hard to grow a beard.
So
I walk over to her poker because I'm normally the one sleeping.
Yeah, absolutely. As you guys
I don't think we should let her. I think she's beautifully sleeping. We shouldn't harm the beautiful lady. She might get mad.
Oh, we're not gonna harm her, but she's bound to wake up soon anyways.
So as you guys are looking over her, you notice you assess that in human years she's probably not too much older than about 20 years of age. She has very fair, kind of light skin, kind of a pale skin. Not pale like sickly, but kind of a calm, pale tone, light pink color. You notice her hair is a very strong black, but a silky black, almost kind of like a shiny black, and she has like a red bow in her hair. And you guys, of course, as I told you before, you notice the cleaning rag, and yes, it's actually very late in the day, and she definitely seems kind of passed out. One thing I did not, and anyway, so yeah, you guys see her kind of passed out. So this is sort of the evening she's out. What would you guys like to do before your final? I'm not sure where you're gonna sleep unless you're gonna wake her up. But anyways, so Bart, what would you like to do to kind of end the day? You want to wake her up? You want to end the day? What would you like to do?
I walk over next to the bed and fall asleep right at her feet.
Okay, and Grognak, what would you like to do?
Grognak is going to look to the rest of the group and ask, "Should I kill it?"
Oh no.
So as you say this and you guys are kind of talking, you notice the young woman begin to kind of stir a little bit, and she lifts her head up, and her eyes are very just tired, and then she kind of almost like she all of a sudden gets a burst of energy, and she goes, welcome, I'm hi, like that. She's just kind of real nervously.
Oh, we should be welcoming.
Oh, and she says to you, please, I have nowhere to go. As you can, I can, if you let me stay here, I can help, I can clean, I can cook. Please, anything I can do to help.
Yes, you cook now. No pepper.
And as you say,
extra pepper, please.
She kind of scurries very quickly over to the kitchen area, and what you discover, a pot on the stove. Actually, as she lifts the top, you see that some steam come out of it, and it looked like she actually had already prepared what seems to be like a vegetable soup. And as she takes the top off, she begins to grab a bowl and fill and place it on the table at each of the 7 chairs. And she also put spoons and some, and y'all were unaware you had this, but you actually had napkins. You didn't know you had napkins, but y'all did. And she puts napkins.
Those are my handkerchiefs.
For everybody, yeah.
Those are my handkerchiefs.
And okay, so go. So then, and as you guys are seated, she's standing there, and she hopes that she has earned your trust to be able to stay with you guys. And I'll do the order again. I'll let Bart. Do you have anything you want to say to her? I know you said you've gone to sleep, but I left the part out, so I let the part out of my thing here. So let's just say you did whatever you want to do. So Bart, what would you like to do?
Oh, thank you, man. I just say it dreamily, kind of like I still think I'm in a dream, so I'm kind of more awake than usual, oddly. Sip soup.
Okay, so yeah, you have your porridge. Grognak, you see this, vegetable soup, a napkin, place looks nice. She's hoping to earn your welcome to stay.
Grognak has the brief thought, maybe this creature's trying to poison us, but poison don't work so good against
We are dwarf. We are dwarf.
So Grognak is going to just lift the bowl and chug the soup.
And you discover as you have this to your entire life, you never had anything so tasty and delicious. And Torment.
That soup is gone in 2 seconds flat.
Absolutely. And she walks over to you, Grognak, and she says, "Did you enjoy it?"
I lick my lips and ask for more.
She said, right away, sir. It was my pleasure. And she fills up your bowl and gives you a second bowl. And Tormac, as she comes, or you have your, I'm sorry, as she brings the bowl back to Grognak, she says, I hope so much to earn your blessing to be able to stay here. And Tormac, you're up.
Sweet lass, I'd like to know, what's your name?
Of course, things happen so quick. We didn't even introduce. I would love to share with
No.
our name and to know your names as well. I saw written over the beds. You had your names carved in, but of course I don't know who belongs to which. My name is Los Thilivern. Los Thilivern. And you guys recognize this to be, even though she's human, the name you recognize to be Elvish. Do any of you speak Elvish?
I do!
We are dwarf.
Whoa. I know, but do any of you have Elvish? You don't have any? No one has it?
I do.
No.
I do. Aldrich speaks Elvish.
So Aldrich, you actually, you can, as you hear her name, you hang on, let me see. Hang on, Aldrich.
I spit out my soup.
Let's see. Aldrich is played by Aldrich. What's your name in Facebook, Aldrich?
Laurelyn.
Laurelyn. Oh yeah. Hang on one second.
This is elf food.
Okay. Cool.
The best elf food I've ever had.
Okay.
And then I found the eyeball bright red again.
So as she speaks her name, Laurelyn actually would know how to translate that name into Dwarvish from Elvish, and she can share that with you if she wants.
Oh. Okay.
Grognag, not smart.
And so again,
Oh!
So Last Stiller.
Your name's Snow White.
Yes, that I suppose if you were to translate it to Dwarven, that would be it. But they
Beautiful
call
name.
me Loss. Everyone calls me Loss.
Little lass, what do you prefer? Loss?
If it means that I can stay with you guys, you can call me anything you want.
Oh.
Do you like hair? And I'll give her the Tormund Giantsbane fucking look.
And she looks and says, "Does this mean I earned your blessing to stay?"
No.
If you keep making this food, yes.
The soup is terrible. I can't find any of my stuff because you moved it all. Why don't you get lost?
How about we go over a little period of time where she tries out her skills, see if it's worthwhile, and also maybe we could learn why you're here in the first place? That might be a good idea.
Grognag just wants food.
I wish I had more information to share, but I woke up alone in the woods, and I know my name, but I don't know. I'm not sure how I was here. The animals, they guided me here. There are many animals outside this place, and they guided me here. I assume for safety. I wish I could know.
The ones with the yellow eyes,
Can I insight?
Yes, absolutely.
I lost. They weren't the ones with the yellow eyes.
I'm not sure of what you speak. Ones with yellow eyes. I see many forest creatures, but they all have always been kind to me. They almost are like the family. All I know since I awoke without my memory. I'm not sure of yellow eyes though.
Which has been like 24 hours?
I wish, believe me, I wish I knew. I wish I knew the answer. I know I woke up in the woods. I do know my name. The animals.
Oh, little lass, don't worry about it. I'm just afraid. I'm happy you're here.
I'm scared and lost. And I'm just trying to figure this all out. Jurgen, you're up.
Oh yes. What is with the yellow eyes?
I'm not sure of yellow eyes. Where do you see this at?
We saw yellow eyes, and you say yellow eyes are back there.
No, I don't. I'm not sure of yellow eyes.
The
creatures I know, I didn't see with that. And Aldrich, you're up.
Aldrich would like to just like really get in close and start medicine checking her, just like making sure she's healthy.
Yeah, you can roll a medicine check to see what you find out.
Meanwhile,
that is a natural 20 plus 4.
Damn.
Okay, so with a 24, you actually are able to assess that she does. It almost looks like a you notice maybe like a blunt force trauma to the back of her head, and you assess that very much so. It's you from what you can tell, you feel that it's definitely been less than a week, but you do, looking at the wound and her, you feel like very much so she was probably lost in the woods for several days, and based on where it is, very much so she could have known something like her name but not have any other memory, and you also feel that it's almost good that she found this place, because looking at her wound, you feel like another day in the forest alone, she may not have even made it. So the animals did right to bring her here. And
this poor girl was assaulted. She has a wound, and it is very lucky that you found us. Young woman, you need to rest, but please don't fall asleep because concussions are very dangerous.
As you point that out to her, she didn't even know. She didn't know. She's shocked. Like she didn't. And she says, I noticed that I did have a pain, but I didn't. And it's almost like it's kind of a little bit of a shock to her. Like she, again, the memory of knowing what a headache is, she wouldn't necessarily have that. So she's almost a little bit shocked by it.
You should not put salt in wounds.
Wise words.
So as you say this, you guys, if anybody wants to do a medicine check on her, you guys would be able to bandage this wound and hopefully to have it
Can I use
healed pretty much by
spell?
morning. What's that?
I have a cure wounds spell. Can I use that?
Yes, you can. Yeah, that would basically heal. If you do that on her, she's instantly. Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to do that, then you did that and she's good. You don't even really necessarily need to roll the dice, because you one point of healing would clean it. So as you cast cure wounds on her, she doesn't have her memory back, but she feels and she says to you, there was a ringing that's no longer there, and she's touching her head where the pain was that was pointed out, and she doesn't feel that at all anymore, and the evidence of the blunt force trauma is now gone, and she looks completely healed, and she walks over to you and she gives you a kiss on your cheek, and she goes, thank you so much, and she goes off over to the side, and she pulls out actually it looks to you guys to be like a fresh baked berry pie, and she comes and she cuts it into pieces, and she actually serves you a piece, and your piece is actually about twice the size of everyone else's.
So just bashful about it.
Yeah, Aldrich, have you had a go here, Aldrich?
Yep.
Okay.
I medicine checked her and made
sure
she's
Steve,
okay.
Steve, you're up.
Okay. So is she still wondering?
Yeah, she's hoping to earn your approval to stay. It was discovered she doesn't know where she's from. Y'all found out that she seemed to have been attacked, and that's now healed, and she's hoping to stay with you guys because she doesn't remember. Maybe her memory will return, but she doesn't know right now. She's definitely scared, and she's hoping to stay with you guys. She doesn't want to stay out in the forest,
Okay, I'm feeling so bashful that I can't even talk. So I write a note that says, "You can stay in my bed," and I hand it to her as I'm like bright red in the face.
and she looks at the note and she says and she's like she looks at you and she said and she actually comes over to you and kind of gets down on her hands and knees and takes your hand and she says, "Thank you so much. You're most gracious." And she let's see, and then she gets up and you guys see that she sort of makes herself a bowl and she kind of has a bit, and then she begins to pick up the plates and the dishes and begins to wash them, and it's basically nighttime at that point. So anything you want to do right before bed, back to Bart.
I'll wake up sleepily and wander over and start drying some dishes before I fall asleep on the counter for a wee nap.
Yeah, and as you go over, she thanks you for your assistance. Grognak.
I sleep on the counter the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, you look for more pie?
She's lucky. She's lucky that Grognak has no perception. He would have been very disapproving if he noticed that his slice was smaller. But he didn't, so he's going to go to his bed and just sharpen his greatsword.
And Tormac, it's you're up.
Okay. Wheelass, thank you so much for making us food, cleaning our home. It makes me so happy that you are here. Sorry if I was abrasive before. I was just worried.
And she says, "I understand. Thank you so much. You all are wonderful. You're all most gracious." And Gronk.
Look, I don't know about you guys, but this is a house of dwarves. We don't need no human around here. This is going to be nothing but trouble. You mark my words, this is a stupid plan.
And as you say that, she runs over to you and she puts her hands on your cheeks and she kisses you kind of off to the side of the cheek. She goes, "Oh, Gronk, I know I can earn your trust."
You find my stuff that you moved where I left it last?
Let me metagame real quick. Gronk sounds exactly like a client I had yesterday. Okay.
How do you know I wasn't?
Oh, God.
When she says gracious, Grognak is going to say, "Bless you."
What?
To think, Jurgen, you're up.
Achoo! Achoo!
So he's out. Aldrich.
Aldrich is sleeping and silently murmuring passages from Grey's Anatomy while he's sleeping.
Okay.
Not the TV show, the book.
And Steve.
I see that Bart's bed is empty, so I curl up there and I write in my journal treasures that I found and about how this beautiful woman has ended up in my bed, even though I'm not in that bed too. And, and I'm kind of sad about that, and I'm like hoping that I can get my nerve up to make a move tomorrow.
Okay, so as everyone's sleeping through the night, that was Steve, right? She's in Steve's bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys, it's morning, da, 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 you know, birds are chirping. As you wake up, you see, she's out of the bed. She's actually over by the stove area, and on the table, you guys see freshly baked breads, pastries, tarts, pies, bowls of fruit, nuts, all kinds of things, and this thing is all set, and you got and I'll call out here as you guys kind of wake up a bit in order here, and it just immaculate spread of breakfast on the table, and Steve, you're the first to wake up, and you notice that you see it almost looks like what you see is as if, because basically The stove is kind of over near sort of the front of the house where you have the door. You walk in, the stove's like almost to the left, right when you walk in, and you see like the window that's above the stove. You see what basically looks like almost like a squirrel bringing her nuts and berries. And there's like 2 or 3 little squirrels, and she kind of gathers them in her hand. And as you wake up, you see her turn around, and she goes, "Good morning, sleepyhead." And she puts these nuts and berries on the table. You can
Who are you calling sleepy? Calls a sleepyhead.
Yeah. So Steve, you're up first for the morning with this beautiful breakfast. Sit at the table. And she said, "Please have a seat. Everything is just in time and ready."
So I just go, "Joel," and I turn bright red again. And I kind of get up and scamper over to the table, and I start making my plate.
Okay. So as you make the plate, and then Aldrich, you wake up. It's Aldrich's waking up. You wake up.
Yes, I see these squirrels, and I ask, "Do we have squirrel for breakfast?" Achoo!
And she looks at you kind of awkward. She's like, "Oh, of course not, silly. They brought us some berries and fruits from the forest. They all brought it this morning, and it is." Now...
And did they bring bacon?
And she kind of looks at you like you're obviously not kidding, but she kind of thinks you're kidding. and Gronk, it's you awaken to see this beautiful spread at the table.
It looks terrible.
And she just kind of, you see like a little, kind of almost like a little tear form up in her eye, and she kind of turns away and gathers some more fruits and berries. And Tormac, it's you're up.
Oh, sweet lass, where have you been all my life? Thank you.
And
this is wonderful.
and she says thank you. And just about that time, she walks over to Gronk, and she hands him a pastry that has a little almost like it kind of looks like a little kind of hard to describe it, but the pastry's folded over. The pastry looks as if it's got like a little smiley face on it, and it's kind of looks like it's got sort of a lemon icing on it that sort of makes it look like a sunshine. and she hands it to you, and she hands you a sack of your things that were kind of around the house that I guess that had kind of been moved or whatever. It's like she took all your things that were moved and put them in a sack and handed it at your feet. And she pats you on the shoulder, and it's Grog next. You're up. As she hands this to Gronk.
Seeing the lovely display of food, Grognak knows that she has the only 2 things needed to reach his heart: a pretty face and good food. So Grognak's gonna walk right over to her and give her a big hug and say,
"Aw,
thank you."
And she kind of bends down a bit.
I think I love you.
And hugs you back, and she gives you a kiss on the cheek. And as she does that, you can. It's almost like it's not lipstick, but you have a little bit of warmth, kind of right there, where that.
I think I love you, and he's gonna kiss her on the cheek as well.
And Bart, you see this. You wake up. You see this beautiful spread.
I think I'm dreaming, and I eat the piece of or the plate that's left by my face, and I don't move my head because I don't want to wake up.
So as you guys are eating and enjoying this amazing meal, you hear like a on the door, and she goes over the door, and she opens the door, and you guys, you're not quite necessarily able to figure out who she's speaking with or whatever, but she's like, "Oh, thank you so much. You're so kind. This is perfect. And this morning I made such a beautiful breakfast, and it was missing something. I don't even have the words to express my thanks to your wonderful kindness. Thank you, neighbor. It's so nice to meet you." And she shuts the door, and as she turns around, you guys see that she has a large basket full of beautiful apples on her arm, and everyone can say one word. And I'm going to go down the list. Bart, I'm sorry, Steve, you can say one word. What do you want to say? She turned around. Somebody had just given her this beautiful basket of apples, and you get one word. Go. Steve.
Well, I'm too shy to even really talk to her,
Okay.
so I don't say anything.
That's fine. Aldrich?
Shit!
Jurgen?
Achoo!
Gronk?
Poison, probably.
Tormac?
Who?
Grognak?
No!
Bart?
What?
So as you say that, she turns, she says, you know what, beautiful apples, and she takes a bite of one of them, and instantly you guys see her fall to the floor. The apples spill everywhere, and she is now laying on the floor. And let's see here. So you guys see this? Let's see real quick. One second. And as you see this, as this happens, everyone roll a perception check, and I need to know if you get a 15 or higher.
19.
Okay. Everyone who rolled a 15 or higher, you see this all happens very quickly. She turns around with a basket. She takes a bite, drops to the floor. You see out of the window that was just above the kitchen, you can see walking up the curvy path, you see what looks like kind of a haggard old woman and a little goblin with a basket of apples skimpering off probably about 30 to 40 feet down the road.
Grognak is going to give chase murder.
Okay. Okay, so Allie, what would you like to do? You see this. You see her fall. And you need to let me know, if you saw her, you can say something about her, but if you didn't, you can react without having seen her. So, Bart?
Bart sees the old lady and realizes that he's been awake the whole time and this is a nightmare to her because she took the good dreams away.
Okay, so Grognak, it's you. You see her passed out on the floor.
Grognak sees the wicked old bitch out the window.
Yes, you do.
He is going to pull his greatsword, scream, "Fucking die!" and give chase, dashing at full speed.
Okay, you're going 60 feet?
60. 50 because 50. Dwarves only get 25.
Okay, let me.
So 50.
Remind me of that when I get back to you that you dashed out the door. Okay, Tormac.
Okay.
I'm following him.
Okay. Gronk.
Gronk is gonna bend down and use Spare the Dying on the young lady, and then get up and run out the door as my action.
All right. Okay. So you do that, and you run out the door. You really don't know if that did anything. You don't know that. And you're out the door. Jurgen, your go.
Yep. For chasing as fast as I can.
Okay. And Aldrich, you're up. You see this girl lying on the floor. I'm not sure if you noticed the haggard or not.
I did notice, and I'm going to first cast Cure Wounds on the girl.
As you go to the girl, before you do that, if you want, you can roll a medicine check.
Okay, I will do that then. That's a 20.
Okay.
Not a natural 20, just a unnatural 20.
Okay, so you. Okay, I'll give you this in just a second. Let me get to Steve. Steve, what do you want to do?
Can I also do a medicine check?
Yeah, if you want to go to her, you can go. Who?
Down.
I read
Yeah,
her.
so go to her.
Down.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So, because this is kind of all happening at once here. Okay. So, who was it that cast Spare the Dying? Was it Gronk? Who was it cast Spare the Dying?
I did, Gronk.
Gronk. Okay. Okay. So, as Bart and Grognak, Tormac, and Gronk and Jurgen run out the door, Gronk on his way out the door kind of reaches down and casts Spare the Dying and is out the door. As you guys go out the door, she turns to you almost as if she's kind of floating a bit, like just kind of, it's weird how she turns. It's not like she kind of walks and turns. She just kind of turns and she goes and completely disappears. And she's gone. She's disappeared. Back, this is all happening kind of at the same time. Back at the where she is, the human woman that's fallen down, Aldrich discovers, and let me make sure, Aldrich is Laura Lynn, right?
Yep.
Okay. You know, and you can pass this information on to them. You know that she has been poisoned with the blood of a hag. Only if she is given blood directly from the heart of a hag can she even live. So until then, she is going to be passed out. You also know that his Spare the Dying had no effect. You know that Cure Wounds won't have no effect. You know that no magic or anything you do can have any effect on her unless she is given through her mouth the blood of a hag. You know that's the only thing that can cure what's happened to her.
Okay.
And so
when everybody comes back, I relay that information to them.
Right. So
Grognak did not come back.
Okay. So
Not even Pure Love's First Kiss? Can I try that?
You can certainly try, but it's not going to work.
let me read the comment again. Aldrich assesses through her roll of a 20 that she has been poisoned with the blood of a hag, and only if she's given blood directly from the heart of a hag.
She was joking.
Yeah, I got you. And
it was role playing.
And she, yeah, I know. I'm just playing with it. And she can. I mean, she can tell you guys this. She can say, look, nothing we have is gonna work. You know, it's got to be a blood of a hag. So okay, so who's coming back inside? Who's staying outside? Who's coming back inside?
I come back in.
Okay. So
I'd come back.
Bart stays outside and is stunned.
Everyone that's back inside. So do y'all want to do it? So right now, apples are spilled on the floor. She is out. She basically, you would pretty much perceive her as dead. Her skin is now it's not white like that nice kind of peach color. It is white. Her lips are white. Her hair is white, almost like an elderly. Just she doesn't look wrinkled, but she looks completely pale, just like as if there's no blood in her at all. She is just completely prone, lifeless. You know.
She went albino.
Doc does assess that she's not dead, but any unless Doc, I mean, I'm sorry, unless not Doc, unless Aldrich,
you can call me Doc.
Yeah, unless Aldrich had discovered what she discovered, anyone would have pretty much thought she was dead, like unrecoverable dead. But anyway, so y'all see this. So you want to leave her on the floor? What do y'all want to do? I'll run real quick in order backwards. We'll go. Steve, do you want to do anything?
I start slowly crying, and I beg to everyone that we need to do something to help her.
Mm-hmm. And as you say that, Aldrich, do you want to, Aldrich, as they're going with this, you can share with them about what would cure this.
Okay.
I mean, go, yeah.
I'll say, we need to safely, all very, very safely, no injuries, please, go find a hag and bring the blood back and put the blood in her mouth.
And if everyone wants to roll a history check, I need to know if you get a 15 or above. First one to call out 15 gets it. Or above.
Nope.
5.
I got
Plus your history.
History check. Is everybody rolling really low on the history check?
I got a 12.
12? Okay, Bart, what did you get? You would need to be in the house, though, to do this check. Okay.
Oh, I got a 5.
Everybody got really, really low? Okay, who, who rolled a, anybody roll a, above a 10?
Bart
12.
got a 10.
Are you outside?
Somebody rolled a 12?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't.
Aldrich got a 12.
Okay, you don't know, you have no idea where you guys could find a hag, but you do know that every day when y'all went to work and you passed by that path up the grove, you remember enough to know that that's supposed to be an abandoned orchard farm, and it may not be abandoned. You don't necessarily know that means the hag's there, but you can point that out to them that that's something that's always been spooky to you guys.
Wasn't there some creepy laughing on the way to work the other day by that apple orchard? And then the apples were here. It just all makes too much sense. Let's go.
Okay, anybody going to the apple orchard?
Grognak is already running there.
Yeah.
Bart joins him.
Grognak never came back. He's already on his way.
Did y'all want to do anything with her, or are you just going to kind of leave her on the floor?
Dormac goes.
To the bed.
Okay, so she's
So I probably can do it by myself.
Yeah, so she's on the bed, kind of. I mean, she looks peaceful. She's just completely colorless. And you guys run to the. How are we doing? 8:23. Okay. So since it's 8:23, as you guys get to the orchard, you're standing now.
Grognak was there like a minute before.
So yeah, so Grognak's up there first, and you were there. You're ready to do this. All your party is kind of there as well now.
They get there, and I'm already hacking at the door.
Yeah. So as you okay, so when you went in, I'll say this then. You kind of went in first. This is what you see. You see 4 goblins. You see these apple trees, and there's 4 goblins minding these apple trees, and you can take an action here. You can take an action. You see 4 goblins. They're not high up in the tree. They're not even, they could even jump down. They're not even 10 feet up. They're just up there picking apples, putting them in the basket, and you see 4 of them, and you see this hut, and you see, like a old abandoned kind of a hut at the end of the apple orchard. It's not a large orchard at all, but you can see the hut. You see 4 goblins in the trees picking apples. They notice you, and you can do your action right now.
How high up are they?
The rest of the party, you're not quite there yet. He's doing all this before you guys get there. So, all right, what do you want to do for your action?
How high above me are they?
Like they're on little ladders, maybe 4 or 5 feet off the ground, picking apples. They're not even. They're not even necessarily high enough to be considered 10 feet up. If they fell, they wouldn't even take any damage.
Okay, then.
You're
the very first goblin.
Yeah, you're getting a free action.
The goblin closest to me, I'm going to activate Rage and hit him with my greatsword.
Okay, give me your attack roll.
Okay.
That's true. I wish it was just a little bit bigger. Yeah. And then they'd actually be able to go on their top.
I got something. Let me check what my bonus is. Okay, I have a total of 22 to hit.
22 hits. Give me your damage.
Yes. Alright, ooh, that's pretty good. Damage total of That is a 15 plus whatever Rage gave me.
Okay, that's enough. And you basically you hack your way through this area that you guys previously. And as you were hacking in there, you actually kind of still see the same little eyes going, you know, the like little sounds and all that. And you're just like, you just ignore that. You walk in, you see this scene of these 4 goblins on these apple trees. The hut at the end of the little road there, and you go over to one of the goblins and you just fell the goblin right there, and he's down. And when he does this, the other 3 immediately pull out their scimitars and run over to you, and they all take an attack on you.
I just laugh.
There's a now again, the rest of the party, y'all have not gotten there yet. This is kind of an action. He ran way ahead of you guys. This is all happening. Kind of, y'all aren't there yet. It is so we got a 18 and an 18. I got an 18 and an 18 and a 12. So does any of that miss?
The 12 misses. The 2 18s match, so they hit.
Okay. Alright, so then, alright, you were hit for, jeez, 16 points of slashing damage. It's actually, one of them hits you for, basically 8 points of slashing damage by 1. I'm not sure if you get to half that with your rage or not.
Yeah, Rage halves that.
Yeah, and then the other one hits you for 8 points of damage. So I'm not sure how much total damage that does, but you can write that down.
So I take a total of 8.
Okay, yeah. Okay, and as you do that, it is your move again. There are 3 of them right on you.
I think I... Well, I'm definitely going to try and slash one of these.
Okay.
That is a modified 20 to hit.
That hits.
Alright, and... Ooh, that is also really good. That's a total of 14 damage.
And you fell another goblin. The other...
I laugh at them and taunt them.
Hey, DM, Gronk ran with Gronk. I never went back in the house.
Were you were running with him?
I was running with him. He did a dash, so he's should be 25 feet in front of me.
Okay.
If we ran at the same pace.
Oh, so he probably showed up as I'm hitting the second.
Yeah, let me give them their go, and then you'll get a go. Okay. So one of them misses you, the other one does. Man. Let's see, 6, 6. One of them misses you, the other one does 14 points of slash. It's one of them does it. 14 points of slashing damage. And then yeah, you're.
All right, so that's cut down.
Okay, so he's down.
Ooh.
Who was it that said you
No. That's cut in half. I'm still at 2 hit points.
Okay, and who was it that said you followed him? Because yeah, you're gonna get a go right now.
Gronk.
Yeah, Gronk. You now at this point you get a go on them. You see all this and you get a go.
How many are left?
How many hit points did you have at level 1? By the way, I should ask.
I had 17.
Okay, and you get to have that each time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, man. It's your go, Gronk. So this happened, and you're there, and you get to take an action. You got to them, and you can take an action.
2 of them left.
There's 2 of them left.
Okay. I am going to move in and attack them, and actually, since I'm already a little bit further back, I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on one of them as a cantrip.
Yep.
At 1d8 with a dex saving throw.
Okay.
DC of 12.
That's he rolled a natural 20 on that saving throw.
Oh, come on, really?
Yeah. Hey, dude,
All right.
I rolled the D6 for him, and I hit a 6 every single time when I doing the damage dice. So I don't know what's going on with me. Apparently, I roll high now.
I'm rolling like garbage, and
Yeah,
you're not. So
ask the guys that play with me before. I never roll high. They don't even need to strategize.
So
DM gets okay.
That was done from 25 feet away, I suppose. So
okay.
I'm gonna move in to where they are. That's pretty much all I can do.
Okay. All right. So one is gonna go on you, and one is gonna go on him. And then next the party's coming, by the way, guys. So I'm sorry, I just had all this happen because while y'all were messing with her, they kind of ran ahead. And that's fair that you kind of came a little bit after that because he did say, like, he kind of took a beeline, like massive beeline. So that I think it plays well that you came a bit behind him. Okay, so first
yeah, fucking die! Full charge.
Okay, all right. So this is Gronk. So who is in there again? Gronk and
Grognak.
Grognak. Okay, Grognak. Okay. Right.
And both the goblins just attacked, I think.
Yeah. So y'all are all within 5 feet. So one is going on you and one is going on the other. Okay, we got a 19 to hit and a 22 to hit. So I'm guessing that hits both of y'all, right?
Wait, both of the goblins just hit me, so shouldn't it be my turn to hit again?
Well, oh yeah, yeah, that's right. Because he, the two went. You hit, they went, then he.
Yeah, one missed, one hit, then he showed up.
So it's your turn again. Let's go ahead. Yeah, you can take a turn.
All right, so the one on me.
Yes, the one on you.
I'm guessing or hoping does a 16 hit?
Yes, it does. Yeah. They only have an AC of 15.
Yeah. Oh, good. I just barely hit them. And that is a total. That is 14 damage.
14 damage? Okay, and that one falls. And so the one, okay, so now let me roll to see which one this last one's on.
I'm screaming in victory.
Let's see. Okay, so you're, tell me again the two that are there. You said Gronag and Gronk?
Yes. The two G's.
Okay. Okay, and who just attacked? Gronag? That was Gronag, right?
Yeah, Grognak just murdered the third goblin.
Okay, alright, so I'm gonna do, because I had one extra number here, I was gonna, okay, so even you odd him. Okay, so it's even, so he's going after, Grognak. And he's going to do, alright, let's see, okay, that's gonna be 22 to hit. Does that hit?
Oh, no. That hits.
Okay, alright, and he does seven points of slashing damage.
Alright, so yeah, I'm screaming in victory, then that son of a bitch blind shots me in the back, and I'm knocked out.
Okay. Are you, okay, okay, so at this moment, all of you arrive. Everyone's there, and we are now in our normal order. We're going to be in our normal order at this point. Okay? So
is there one goblin left?
Yeah,
or two?
yeah, y'all are there. You see, who was it that fell? Was it Grognak? Grognak or Gronk?
Grognak just got knocked out.
This is the
Grognak's
scene that you
unconscious.
see. As y'all walk in there, you see these goblin bits chopped up. You see 3 goblin bits, goblins completely kind of destroyed, apples all over the ground. There's one goblin standing.
Blood all over my sword.
Yeah. Grognak is unconscious. Gronk is standing there, and we are now in our normal initiative order, which means the goblin
Bart?
just went, so the goblin has taken its turn, but now we're at Bart.
Bart would like to run at the goblin and swing his great axe at it. And I miss.
Okay. And so as you go to this goblin, and now this goblin's kind of like Before it was 4 against 2. Now it's like 1 against 7 or 6. He's kind of and and as you swing at him, he freaks out, and it is now Grognak, you get your first death saving throw.
All right. Oh please no.
What?
Okay. I convulse violently with a nat 1.
No!
So okay, so y'all see.
So
Yeah,
that's
he just kind of coughs up some blood. It looks almost like he coughed up like almost a vital organ, like it's and he's there and he's just convulsing. And Tormac.
I'm alive, but I can't fail again.
Yeah, Tormac, you're up.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast.
Oh shit!
13?
13
to hit?
Against his AC, right?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that misses.
It's a ranged spell attack.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So Gronk, it's your
I'll
turn.
flourish, no.
I'm gonna reach down and use Spare the Dying once again on my dying
Thank you.
companion. So he is stabilized, returns to 0.
Okay.
But that is my action.
Okay.
Thank you.
And now it is Jurgen's turn.
Yeah, I will banish my hammer and my sickle, and I will run and attack the closest one.
There's only one. You got it. Go for it, man.
The first hammer
Yeah.
is a 9. The sickle is a 25.
25 hits.
Achoo! I hit him for 7 bludgeoning damage and 2 sneezing damage.
So as he hits him, you hit him with a sickle, right?
Yes, the sickle
So
hit.
as he hits him with a sickle, it catches him, and he's like gurgling, but still alive on the end of his sickle, and he sort of pulls him into his face, and when he does, he just sneezes on him, and when he sneezes on him, the goblin just falls. And he's
Death by
Goblin.
sneeze.
Yeah.
I have allergy goblin.
Chill. And so Alderic, it is your turn. You're there. You see this this hut. You see your buddy. He's stabilized, but he's unconscious, and it's your go.
Oh gosh darn it, guys! I said no injuries, and so I go and I cure wounds on him.
And
How much do you heal me for?
Just a second.
As Grognak wakes up, I would like to say, I told you this was a stupid plan.
As I wake up, I am just ready to kill.
all right. And Steve, it's your go. Well, he's up.
How much did I get healed on that
8
cure
points.
wounds?
8 points.
8
Okay.
points.
So as you come up and it's or Steve, do you have anything you want to do?
I lied. 11 points.
Tell everyone, guys, I speak Goblin. Now we're not gonna know if they have seen it. You guys would listen to me, even though I'm humble.
So
Is there anybody else?
As that happens, you hear it's actually almost sounds like it's being spoken in Goblin. You hear this sound of like, "You fools!" and the door to the hut swings open, and this haggard lady just comes basically running out, and she goes, "Ah, she must have took a bite first. I thought that might happen." And almost like she's disappointed that you guys are there. And when she says this, she comes out, and she just kind of almost, again, the door swings open. You hear her make her comment, and she runs right to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. She runs to number Well, look, Jesus is looking down on me. I rolled a 2, and you're number 2, man. I'm not picking on you. She runs right over to Grognak. I rolled a 2. I'm telling you. So she runs right over to Grognak, and she does. Let's see here. Well, he can take it.
Does
Man.
she?
He can like half everything, so he's actually pretty strong. Hang on. She runs right to him, and she
Only
does,
while I'm raged, which I am not.
Okay. Well, she does. Let's see. 1.
Does she even hit me?
Yeah. Let's see here. Well, I mean, she rolled an 18. Didn't that hit?
Oh yeah, that matches.
18. Okay, yeah.
Unless I have a shield.
Let's see. Well, I don't know if you were unconscious. Like, I don't know if you were wearing one or not. Okay. Well, if you weren't wearing a shield, that's gonna do 8, 3, 11, 15 points of slashing damage with her claws. So I mean,
I'm knocked.
Okay, so he's up. I'm up, and she comes out. Ah, that fool! And she takes your buddy down again. He's down again, and it is now top of the order. Bart, it's your turn. You see this haggard lady. She just knocked down your buddy that y'all just brought. You just brought him back, and she just knocked him down. And it is your go, Bart.
I would like to rage and swing my great axe at her.
It's awesome that you got.
And I got a 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
Yay! Okay, now where's... Okay, and now... 7 damage. Do I do any extra while I'm raging?
You get +2.
Yeah, so it's
okay.
9 damage?
Then... Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now, real quick, let me say this for the sake of time if y'all want to. If you are going on your turn to attack the hag, you can roll your attack dice and your damage dice, and when it gets your turn, you could just say that. In the event that something happens before your turn that would make you not want to attack the hag, then you can just, I'm okay for you to cancel that and do your other turn. I mean, do what, you know what I mean? If you want to pre-roll, but then switch to something else, I'm okay with that. Did that make sense to you guys?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so y'all can go ahead and roll now if you feel like you're going to attack. If something happens that you've decided that you did not want to attack, with the exception of, I would ask your honesty if you just miss. Don't pick something just because you missed. You know, so play your character how you would, you know. Like, obviously, if your buddy went down and you were going to heal your buddy, you probably would choose to heal your buddy versus attack, you know? Okay, so that's okay. I'm saying it's okay. If y'all want to pre-roll, it's okay. So now it is Grognak's turn. It's your first death saving throw.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
I have a cantrip guidance. So it says if I touch somebody before the spell ends, the target can roll. So like my buddy can roll a d4 to add to the number.
It doesn't work on death saves.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It just doesn't work. I think you guys are okay. We've got like some paladins and clerics. I mean, I think you'll be okay. All right, go ahead, Grognak. Your first one.
First, since you're DM, this is up to you. Usually, fails stay, so I would still have 2 fails. So if I fail, I would die immediately unless you let them go away.
Yeah, no, it's we're good, and that's rules. It resets. We're good.
Never mind, I got a nat 20. I am back up with 1 HP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you guys know
I pushed myself back up and just, you bitch.
Well, so you guys know, on mine, when you're healed back, your death saves reset. For me, we can play around on the player's handbook if y'all want later, but I don't want you guys, I want y'all to know that you could do that, so that you're making decisions around that. But you do reset for me. Okay, now so he's back up and he's like boom and
I spit blood at her.
Oh yeah, I'll give you the move. Yeah, go ahead. No, you can take your action. If you rolled in that one, you're up.
Oh, I can attack?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a Jeremy Crawford ruling. Jeremy Crawford wrote the book.
Then I'm going to rage.
You can do that.
And then swing at her with my great axe because fuck this lady.
Absolutely. So this is right. Real epic,
Does a... Let me check my modifiers. Does a 16 hit?
No, 16 misses. It looked good, but it missed. I mean, it was epic. You just kind of jumped up, and you swung, and as you swing, she just kind of and cackles, and it's almost like a Matrix kind of thing where your blade just kind of swings right below her chin, just missing her, and she kind of does this little wave. She's kind of leaning back and waving as Tormac.
I would like to spit blood in her face.
Yeah, you spit in her blood, and it gets in her face, and you kind of see that she kind of looks at you, and as she's kind of swaying back, she kind of licks her lips, looking at you, and we notice one of her eyes winks at you. And Tormac, you're up.
Okay, so bonus action, I'm gonna cast Hexblade's Curse on her. So that gives me extra damage. Oh, you insufferable hag! You're making me laugh. See if I can make you laugh. And I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt at her.
Oh!
So let's see. Range spell attack. And I rolled a 15 before, so it's an unnatural 20. So I do 1d12 lightning damage. And okay, so that's 6 plus my proficiency, which is 2. That comes from the Hexblade Curse. And I actually critted on that because it was a 20. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a natural or... It's still a 20.
Only a natural 20 is a crit.
But any attack roll you make against a cursed target is a hit on a roll of 19 or 20 on a d20.
Yes, you are. Yeah, that. Yeah,
or
when it says that, you are.
But
right, 19's a 20. That, I mean, 19's a crit.
Is that including my modifier though? I don't think so.
No, the way I understand the way I roll on a critical is you double. You do roll the attack twice, but you double the damage. So if you, let's say your damage,
I feel like since it wasn't a natural 20 and it wasn't a natural 19, then I shouldn't. I was just making sure.
No, yeah. When you have a 19 or a 20, it has to be a natural 19.
No. Yeah. So, okay, so then she takes 8 points of damage from that lightning.
All right, and that's totally
was that adding your?
What was that? 2 people were talking.
Was that adding your 2 from the curse?
Yeah. I just didn't roll that well.
Okay.
Okay, and now it's, let's see, that was, Tormac, and Gronk, you're up.
Gronk is up. I'm gonna cast Guiding Bolt. Does a 17 range spell attack hit?
17 does hit.
Nice. So she takes 14 points of radiant damage, and all the next attack rolls made against this target until the end of my next turn have advantage.
Okay. So it's 14 points total?
Yep.
Okay.
And everybody, until I go again, everybody has advantage.
Okay, and let's see, this is Jurgen, you're up.
Because she's glowing.
See, I was concerned about if level 1s can handle this, but...
That was a guiding bolt, yes.
Yeah, y'all are doing
Yes.
I have advantage on my first attack.
Yep.
Does a 15 hit with my hammer?
15 misses.
Ah, shit. With a 17 with my sickle.
That just hits.
7 slashing damage and 2 sneezing damage. Achoo.
7, how much damage total?
7 slashing damage and 2 sneezing damage.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. That's gonna be okay. And next up is Aldrich. Your go.
So I'm gonna take my warhammer and I'm gonna smack her in the face with a 20 to hit. For 4 bludgeoning damage.
All right.
and then as a bonus action, because I have those, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on my friend who only has 1 hit point.
Yes.
How much do I get?
I'm gonna roll that. Just a second.
Okay, while you're doing that, let me let Bart go, and then you can tell him what you gave him. Okay, Bart, you're oh no, sorry, hold on, wait, she gets a turn. It's her turn. Oh yeah, go ahead.
What about Steve?
Give the hit points just in case. Steve, I thought, did you not go? Steve, you're going.
No, I didn't go.
I'm sorry, Steve. Thanks, guys. That's why. Call me out if I miss you. Go ahead, Steve.
It's okay. So I guess I'm just kind of confused on how to hit. We've been trying to figure it out.
Roll your D20.
So I rolled a D. I got an 8.
You got an 8 on your D20.
You get to roll twice
Yes.
and use the higher.
Yeah.
And that was my highest.
8. Okay. So what is your attack modifier? Like, what weapon are you using? What's your attack modifier?
I'm using my my cantrip Shalala to make my core attack magical.
If it's your cantrip, it's going to be your spell attack modifier, which is
yes. So that's what it says.
It's plus
so that's I rolled a 1.
Okay.
So that's yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that misses. You had to get higher than that to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So that goes out, and now Bart. Now it's her. Now does she have disadvantage, or is she normal with your spell that you did?
Who are you talking to?
Whoever cast the spell that.
The guiding.
Yeah, guiding. I mean, is it? She can attack like normal.
Guiding bolt is just the next attack is advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's her go, and she is going. So you guys again, you're kind of all around her. I know. Now, one of the things that Dee said that I will let you know that's okay, because of the space, you're able to move wherever you want to move. So, you know, Dee wanted to make a move, that's certainly okay. So she is going to go after Tormac with a.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Oh, you wanted to get smacked. That's a 19. Does that hit?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, and she does 5 plus 8 is 13 plus 4 is 17 points of slashing damage. So she goes
17?
Yeah, she goes at Tormac.
Okay,
17.
Ouch. So Tormac is
you're raging, that's
you
halved.
suffer, bitch.
Were you raging?
No, I'm not a I'm a warlock.
I was thinking Bart. My bad.
But you, in my special thing, if you take damage and laugh about it, take half damage instead.
Yeah, there you go. Go for it. So she
okay.
She goes and slashes you and slashes you.
So is that round? It's this. So is this? Well, I laughed at her and called her a insufferable bitch.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So 17.
Yeah, it's halved.
Was what she got.
Yeah, 17. No, 17.
So do you round up or do you round down?
Your call. You know, give it better for you.
It would be 7.
Yeah, best for you.
It'd be 7 or 8.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll.
Half of 17 would be.
All right.
Let's say 8. Or where are you getting 7 from?
It would.
Half of 17.
It would
let's say 8.
be 8.
Yeah, let's say 8. That's half. Yeah, half your favorite. Oh man, that's good. I forgot about that feature.
Ow.
Good. See, the features are good. You know, they work. Okay, and so that's her go, and now Bart is up.
Hello?
Yeah, Bart, you're up.
Okay. I fell asleep right after I attacked her the last time, so I wake up and I'm still raging, and I got a 23 to hit, and I do.
Now,
if I hit her, I do.
When
damage.
you wake up, you snap your weapon and you get damage with that. So what did your snap damage do? You woke up and you snapped her with your weapon when you woke up. What did you do with the snap damage? Because that's free. That's free
my
damage.
snap damage is 9. Oh wait, no, my snap damage is 4.
Okay. Okay, now you can do your move as normal. So what it is, when she attacked guys, she fell asleep. Then she woke up, and she jerked, and when she jerked, she hit the hag and did 4 points of damage just by kind of waking up. She just slung her weapon and just hit her, and then she takes 4 damage. And now go ahead and do your attack.
Woo! And then for my regular attack, I got a 23 to hit.
That hits.
And then if that hits, I do 7 damage.
Okay, so that's a total of 13, or no, 11 damage total. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and it is now Grognak. Your go.
Grognak does 31 points of damage.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Yes.
And so
I got a critical, rolled max, and then I get to add my stuff to that.
so basically, Grognak just lobs her head right off, and she just, the body just falls right there. And you notice that the heart is still pumping and blood is kind of squirting out of the neck. And Aldrich, if you want to point out what you guys need, because you definitely need some blood.
Get the blood! Get the blood!
I've been knocked out twice, and she nearly killed our little princess. I'm pretty pissed. I just murder her.
So you so Aldrich, you recall that you need the specific. You're gonna need the heart. You recall that y'all need to get the heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also
I
passes
will
out because
carve
he
out
doesn't
the
like blood.
heart.
You do what now?
Grognak will carve out the heart.
Okay, Grognak has the heart, and so you does anybody want to check the building or anything before you go? What do you guys want to do?
Search the body.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and give me a. All right, let me ask it. All right, who's searching the body? Who's searching the building?
Grognak says
search the
fuck the
building.
house.
Okay. All right, so everybody who's searching the building, give me a roll, and a perception check, and everybody who's searching the body, give me a perception check. And when I go down the list, just tell me which one you search for, body or the building. Okay, Bart, what did you search for, body or building?
Building, and I got an 8.
Okay, Grognak, Grognak, you said you carved the heart out, right?
Yeah, Grognak is sprinting back to the cottage where our princess is at with the heart.
Yeah, so you okay, so he took the heart and he took one step out. Tormac, are you searching the cottage or the body? Well, I'm gonna say
I'd be
Grognak,
heading back.
Let me say this real quick. Grognak, I'm gonna say it took your full action to carve this. You do have the heart, but that's you got to get down on your knees and carve this out. So I won't give you a movement for this particular round because of how intricate what you had to do was. So right now you're there at the body.
Whenever I can move,
yes,
I'm
okay.
running.
Right, that's fine. Okay, so Bart went into the building to search. Grognak is holding the heart. Tormac, it's your turn. Do you search the building or the body?
I guess I'll search the body.
Okay, and give me a perception. With the 8,
12.
Bart, yeah. I'm just letting you know. With the 8, Bart didn't find anything. With a 12, you don't see anything of interest on the body. Just a bunch of trinkets, little bone pieces, and little fingers.
We best be off.
Okay. That was Gronk. Do you search? They didn't assess anything on the body, so do you want to search the building, Gronk?
I'm going to search the body again. I rolled a natural 20 with 22.
You are very sure that there's nothing of interest on this body.
Awesome. I head back.
You're gone. Your turn. Do you want to search the... I mean, you can search the body again, but...
No, I sneezed. I sneezed because heg blood does not... I am allergic. I do not search anything.
Okay, don't search anything. Aldrich, do you want to search the building?
Aldrich passed out a while ago because he doesn't like blood. He's the doctor, but he doesn't like blood.
Exactly. Steve, do you want to search the building?
I want to search the building, and I got a 15.
Okay, on a 15, you see inside the building, you see this row of, it looks like, you know, there's different vials and things like that, but one that catches your eye is you see this row of, it's a container, it has 7 vials in it. They're kind of like a blue color, and the whole little, you can actually pick the whole thing up and take all 7. the labeling on them says to be potion of gender change. And as you look at the notes on it, you pretty much assess that if you were to take this vial, within 24 hours your gender would change. So you can take that if you want. It's got 7 vials in there.
Okay, I'll take
no.
And,
transgender in the D&D world.
And then, so now you have, it's just something that, y'all know that hags kind of trick people and stuff like that, so it may have been something she made if somebody came and, whatever, if she wanted, but you have that. You got 7 of them, and it looks like if you drink this within 24 hours, you'll be that gender. Was that Steve's turn?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're back up to the top, and all of y'all, anyone not going to dash toward the house? Everybody going to dash toward the house? I know Grognak is. Everybody else, same thing? Y'all all going to run to the house now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, everybody who's running to the house,
Grognak is in the lead.
You bust open the door, and you see her still white, no color whatsoever, lying on the bed. Grognak has the heart of the hag, and it actually is kind of freaky because it's still beating.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, so y'all want to have somebody do a medicine check to administer this heart?
Grognak will.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a medicine check.
That's really good.
Hold on, wait. What did you get?
Disadvantage?
Yeah, let me see.
Well, without disadvantage, I got a 19.
Yeah, okay. No, I had to bring up my notes to see what it says here. Okay, yeah, so you want to do... Alright, so what is it with disadvantage?
If you're giving me disadvantage.
Yeah, it's disadvantage on this, yeah.
Alright, with disadvantage, it goes from a 19 to a 16.
Okay,
Dang.
So Grognak goes over and he tries to administer this to her, and it he was able to get like a little bit kind of in her mouth, but almost an involuntary action. She kind of coughs and it spits back out. Let's see.
Aldrich will run over and say, Grognak, hold her mouth open, and then I'll medicine check it.
Okay,
with my
Grognak
special
very
ability.
gently.
Yeah. And you
very gently holds the mouth open.
Yeah, and you are at a disadvantage, Aldrich, but you can do your special ability on both rolls. So,
So it's a 20.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Aldrich,
or a 24.
Either a 20. Okay, so the low is a 20. Okay, so you do. So as you administer, it's difficult because it's not something that's done. This is something you're not necessarily used to in y'all's world. As you pour this into her mouth and she kind of swallows the blood from the heart of a hag, immediately you see her hair turn to this beautiful shiny black color that it was before. Her pale kind of colorless skin, it still turns kind of a light color, but it's a nice pink. And you notice that her lips are just like ruby red roses, just beautiful, and they're moist, and she is still unconscious. So you guys see this. Does anybody want to do anything? And then I'll run through the order here. So she's still unconscious. You definitely can tell that this brought life back to her, but she is unconscious. I'll just run down the list. Allie, do you want to do anything?
Bart just kneels down and realizes and hopes she wakes up.
Okay, and so you're kneeling at her side, and she's there. Again, her color looks good. She's just kind of there. Again, with ruby red lips, and they're just moist. And it's Grognak's turn.
Grognak is going to cheer, "I did it!" while still covered in his own blood, and his sword is dripping goblin and hag blood on the floor behind him.
Yeah.
He's covered in goblin blood and hag blood.
So Tormac, Tormac is up, and again, you see everything as I described before. Her color's back. She is like unconscious. Lips ruby red, beautiful hair. You know everything I said. And you see her.
Tormak, being severely injured, takes a knee and says, "Oh, thank goodness. We've brought her back a bit. Any ideas?" And that's all.
Okay, and then Gronk, it's your turn.
I kneel down next to her and I pick her head up and I say, "Oh, lass, I'm sorry I was so mean to you." And I use my last spell slot and cast Cure Wounds on her for 8 points.
As you cast Cure Wounds, Aldrich, can you do a medicine check?
Yes. That is a 20.
Okay, so as you cast Cure Wounds, you assume this, brings someone back, but Aldrich assesses that this doesn't seem to have effect. She is definitely cured from the affliction that she had, but there's definitely something lingering, and Aldrich points out that her lips are moistening. And is it Aldrich's turn? Who's next? I think it is your turn. And so yeah, you notice.
No, it's Jurgen's turn.
Oh, Jurgen, your turn. So Aldrich points out to you guys that the
wipe my nose.
Did not seem to work.
Yeah, I wipe my nose. My handkerchief. I said, "Get out of the way, boys. I know what to do." And I puck her up. I go in to kiss her.
Okay, give me a charisma check.
Oh shit. 13.
I literally have a.
Okay, so as let's see. Okay, let me give the other two a turn, and then I'll give Aldrich. Do you? So he did what he did. He steps back. Aldrich, do you want to do anything?
Aldrich is going to start performing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. So it's not a romantic kiss at all. It's mouth-to-mouth.
Okay. And
good cover.
Okay, Steve, do you want to do anything?
Well, I'm kind of flustered because I wasn't the one that got to kiss her first. But
like sloppy
can I also?
Yeah, you can roll a charisma. Yeah, you can roll a charisma.
Okay, I got an 8.
Wait, can I roll a medicinal charisma for my mouth-to-mouth?
Yeah, I was trying to think how to do that. Is that a kiss or is it kind of a? I'm trying to think what that was there. So basically,
it's a professional kiss. A professional.
Yeah, it all kinds of happens quickly. Like Jurgen comes up, gives her a kiss. Aldrich comes up and gives her an excessive kind of kiss. And Steve comes up and gives her a kiss, and you all step back, and you're looking at her, and initially you don't see anything, but then you are all excited to see some fluttering in her eyes. As she opens her eyes, and she comes to, and she leans up and she says to you, she goes, what happened? And you guys are at great rejoicing because she is alive and you saved her. You took care of the hag. This is your one last action for the game. Bart, what would you like to do?
Bart feels so relieved and happy that he just falls asleep right there on the floor.
Yeah. So Bart's out. Grognak, how do you end this scene?
Seeing 3 people kiss her before she wakes up, he's just gonna turn and look at him and ask, "Which one of yous is the true love?"
Oh! Shit!
Just wreck shit for all 3 of your happiness.
And okay, so Tormak, it's your go.
Relieved and laughing, he just kind of falls over next to Bart, maybe, and just.
Yeah.
See, it's falling apart.
My spleen.
Gronk, it's your turn.
Aye, lass, I'm glad that you're doing better, but I still don't like your cooking.
Jurgen, it's you're up.
Shoot!
Aldrich.
Oh man, I'm putting this on my application to medical school.
And Stevie, what would you like to do?
I'm just so happy that I finally got to kiss a girl that I just turned bright red, and I came just like shaking, like so happy.
As her action, she walks over to Bart. She says, "Thank you. I love all of you from the deep depths of my heart." And she kisses Bart on the lips, and she passes over to Grognak, and she wipes the blood and guts off of it, and kind of gets enough in there to give a kiss. She goes to Tormak and gives a kiss, and goes to Gronk. And,
I rolled a nat 20 for my kiss.
who rolled a nat 20?
I rolled a nat 20 on my kiss.
So Grognak goes and he slips a little much. She just gets a little bit kind of taken aback by that, and she goes over to Tormak and Gronk. She gives Gronk a kiss. She gives Jurgen a kiss. She gives Aldrich a kiss, and if she goes over to Stevie, who's I'm assuming still very embarrassed and everything, goes and gives a very deep, passionate kiss, and the credits roll and the scenes come up and everyone claps.
That's very unsanitary.
And that's the thank you guys so much. I tried to do it in an hour and it took us 2 hours and 12 minutes. Let me run real quick.
I had fun.
Yeah, let me I'll run real quick and you guys give me anything about the adventure that I'm assuming you guys all figured out what kind of character y'all were playing. Allie, is anything particular about tonight that you enjoyed about the campaign or one shot?
Sneeze damage and Tormak laughing at me, and we're both just constantly passed out or laughing at
Absolutely. Grognak, anything you enjoyed about tonight?
Killing 4/5 of the enemies in a single hit.
And getting killed the most of anybody.
That's because I'm the front lines.
I know. I'll tell you, man. It's how it rolled. I wasn't gunning for you.
And also kissing the woman with the nat 20. I like that.
You definitely got some tongue in on that one. Tormak, anything you enjoyed tonight?
Oh, it was a good game. I also enjoyed playing a character that somehow is a warlock who's really happy all the time, which is kind of something that isn't typically associated with that class. That was interesting.
Yeah.
No, it was all fun.
Awesome.
Everybody was great.
Gronk, did you enjoy anything about tonight?
You know, as a happy warlock, you could be happy as in like sociopathically happy.
I was trying to get there. It's kind of hard to get that in though.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I was trying to go for the manic kind of thing, but I don't know.
In my long-term campaign, I'm a real happy Hexblade, because I'm half demon and I'm just real flirty. Because I'm incubus.
Gronk,
that was really fun. It was a good concept to take a story like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Jurgen, anything you enjoy?
Yeah, it was fun. If you want, I can send you a couple notes on feedback later through Discord.
Sure, Aldrich, anything you enjoy?
Oh heck yeah! I enjoyed playing weird characters. You know that.
Awesome. Stevie, do you enjoy anything?
Yeah, I like that we all had like a clear concept of like a simple character, kind of thing.
Well, let me run real quick through you guys, and if you wouldn't mind, tell the group your special ability. And you can tell who you were kind of playing if you want, the name that went with it. Bart, can you tell who you were playing and what your special abilities were?
My special ability, I was basically sleepy, and basically every time I attack, I fall asleep, I wake up on my turn, and then do the jerk attack, and it's an auto hit at half damage. And then I can attack again, and then I fall immediately back to sleep.
Grognak, can you give your character ability?
I was dopey. My feature was I was really dumb. I had a 6. But in return, I got to increase any other stat of my choice by 2. So that made me really dexterous with my maxed out strength and con.
And okay, so Bart, you were playing who was it you said you played, Bart?
Sleepy.
Sleepy. Okay, and Grognak.
I said Sleepy.
Sleepy, and then Dopey, and then Tormac. Who were you playing, and what was your special ability?
Well, I think it's kind of already been said, but I was happy. And my special ability was done. If you take damage, you can laugh about it and take half the damage instead. Unless you are at 5 hit points or less, then it is full damage.
So kind of like a barbarian thing there. Yeah, and that worked out because you were able to use that. Gronk.
Yeah,
I
was able to die.
What was your character and what was your ability?
Well, if you couldn't tell, I was grumpy.
Really?
He wasn't
Yeah.
just being a jerk. That was his character.
I wasn't just being a jerk, by the way.
I guessed.
I'm actually a really nice guy. And my special ability was if anybody hit 0, then I'm supposed to say, I told you this was a stupid idea or a stupid plan, and then I would get a 1d8 bonus to my hit dice. So I get an extra 1d8.
Oh.
So.
Awesome, man. Jurgen, what was your special ability in your character?
I'm still sneezy. I did 1 damage if I ever attacked from sneezing.
Yeah, you got a couple of hit points in there on that one. Aldrich, what was your ability?
I thought you were bullshitting about the sneeze damage.
No. I attacked twice, and even if I missed, it dealt the damage. So
That's
I did 2 every time.
amazing. Death by sneeze.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You did. You took out one of the goblins doing that, didn't you? Aldrich, what was your character and your ability?
Well, I was Doc, and I was the doctor. My ability was anytime I did a medicine check, if I rolled below a 20, it was automatically a 20, not a natural 20, but just 20. And I could use that on stabilization or any medicine check.
Nice. Yeah, so that's why I had to do that because I needed somebody in the group to be able to assess what happened to her and somebody to be able to, otherwise y'all be sitting there all night going, what do we do? We're casting cure wounds, we're doing everything. I'm doing wish spells and greater healing and nothing's working here. Stevie, what? Sorry, getting old. Stevie, what was your character and what was your ability?
I was bashful. So it said I was really attracted to human women that I couldn't even talk to them. And my special ability was sneak attack is double damage on that die, which I didn't really get to use. But
were you playing a rogue?
No, I was playing a group.
I meant to shoot. I'm sorry. I should have told. Yeah, that's Who was it? Did anybody play a rogue or did nobody play a rogue?
I made a joke about her playing a rogue, but no one played.
Okay, in fairness, that's why you had that. Because I thought you were playing a rogue. And I didn't. And
Sorry.
I assigned that to you earliest, and I didn't change it when you said you were doing the other. That was my bad. Yeah, so I'll have to change that to where what it'll be is you'll get, because the idea behind it is that since you're bashful, you're kind of always staying in the back, and so what I'm gonna I'll make a note to change that so it's not rogue specific to where anyone would get a sneak attack if you that's gonna be your ability is you get an automatic. So I'll have to change that. But yeah, that's why you had it, because you were supposed to be a rogue. Good deal. Well, that's why I run these, because we got to work the kinks out,
Yeah.
Excellent. I really I appreciate running with you guys. So now we got a little one shot to our repertoire.